Afternoon. It's a special city council meeting, 4:30, Thursday, March 3rd. I'd like to call to order and acknowledge that the press and public have been duly notified of this meeting in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. Purpose of our meeting is consideration of recommendation for the hiring of a fire chief. Desiree and Chief, y'all want to have some opening commentary, just background and process and such?
Sure, absolutely. Be my pleasure. Thank you. Can y'all hear me? Is this on?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to, for the benefit of the new members, a reminder for our former council members, wanted to go through quickly the process that we followed since the end of last summer, when city council formally made changes to the city code to determine that and assign the responsibility of reviewing and recommending appointments for city department heads to the city administrator, who serves as the direct supervisor for these positions. So that happened at the end of August. Following month, September, city council authorized an expenditure of $25,000 for the city to hire the services of a recruitment firm to develop a fair, consistent, and transparent process for the selection of the next fire chief. In October, we entered into an agreement with Developmental Associates. This is a firm based out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. They have an excellent track record and experience, specifically helping hire public safety executive level positions. We started working with them in October, and between October and November, they had several meetings with the administrative staff, with the fire department personnel, battalion chiefs, administrative staff from the fire department as well, to conduct a job and an organizational analysis and get feedback from the personnel, and certainly the people that would be working with this role, about the expectations, and use that to develop a job profile. That helped us develop, again, a job description and a job profile that was posted in mid-November. That process was opened through the end of December 19th. We had about a month where we accepted applications from interested applicants. Between the end of December and mid-January was followed by a structured set of first initial screening process, followed by a second level of screening of those folks that met the minimum qualifications, the minimum criteria set forth by the job profile. That was followed by an interview, a structured interview conducted by one of their public safety experts in the recruitment process. That helped us narrow it down to 15 candidates that went through another set of interviews. And from that resulted into the selection of the top 5 candidates. Those 5 candidates went through the final evaluation process, which included a 2-day structured skill assessment that was consisted of 4 exercises. They tested the written ability. They also went through a coaching role play, a presentation, and a meeting exercise. Those exercises were performed and assessed by a team of 13 fire chiefs and deputy chiefs. Those that participated in this 2-day assessment serve in the following communities: City of Charleston, North Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Goose Creek, Clemson University, Georgetown, Hilton Head, and from Georgia, folks from Savannah, Augusta, Albany, Athens, Columbus, and Valdosta. Drawing from the feedback of the assessment from these folks and the 2-day skill assessment process, and the results from a comprehensive emotional IQ test that those 5 candidates went through, I selected a top 2 candidates. And those are the folks that have spent 2 days with us. One day we had one of the candidates, a full day where they had an opportunity to not only have an interview, a sort of an informal interview with me. They also met all of my executive team, department heads, City Hall, as well as the fire department personnel and the administrative staff. They were taken to lunch and received a comprehensive tour of the island as part of their time with us. Today was the second day of that process. The second candidate, both candidates are here. And it would be wonderful for you all to have an opportunity to talk to them before a final recommendation is made.
Questions? Again, a reminder of the process that we looked at a couple of times, some last year, some earlier this year. So,
Yes, Chief, would you like Chief Briscoe? Again, we've been having the pleasure of working with Chief Briscoe for the past 5 months. This is his last month. Sadly, we have been able to draw on his experience and background and really, I can't say nicer things. It's going to be very sad to see him go. But he participated in this process. He met with both candidates one-on-one. He also participated, went with them to lunch. So he spent quite some time during the 2-day process with both candidates, and certainly will draw on his feedback, on both of them.
Thank you, ma'am. I couldn't help but smile when she was saying that, because they actually Developmental Associates contacted me in July. So from July to September, I tested and went through some of the same things that these two folks you're fixing to talk to went through. Never have I done that for an interim job. I'll be honest with you. It's always been a full-time job to do that. But I was very pleased with the program. I was very pleased with Ms. Fregoso. It was very transparent. I felt really good about the program, and I feel good about our candidates. This is a win-win for Isle of Palms and for us, because it doesn't matter which one of these candidates you choose, they're going to do you a good job. But if I may, ma'am, if I may speak freely just a few minutes about the fire department and what kind of shape it's in, and I did that for public safety today. And as I leave, I do want you to know you got a good fire department. I'm looking at an article that was written by the Isle and I in 2017 that talks about the Class 1 fire department at Isle of Palms. Now, there are 46,000 fire departments in the United States. A little over 200 of them are classification 1s by the Insurance Service Office, which rates fire departments, 10 being the least protected, 1 being the best protected, or I think they call it an exemplary fire department. You have an exemplary fire department. It is a Class 1 fire department. That's impressive. All my time of being chief, I've never been chief of a Class 1 fire department until I came here. And I appreciate that. So you're going to hear good things about your fire department. You're going to hear bad things about your fire department. Let me tell you, your fire department's in pretty good shape. It really is. Could I use 10 more? Sure. 20? Sure. I told them today, 30? Sure. 40? Yeah, whatever you want to give me. But as a taxpaying citizen at Oak Island, North Carolina, I don't want them to do that, because I want my stuff protected, but I'm very careful about the way I pay taxes too. And that's why I wanted to stay here on the island. I wanted to get to know the folks. I wanted to see the folks. We're having a Front Beach Festival Friday from 12 to 4. I've been to the Halloween things. This is a great place to live, work, and play. And they're very fortunate to have you folks to look after them. Now, with that, I want to tell you, especially the new folks, a little bit about me. Some of you knew about me. We went through the process and you talked about me. And I'm not bragging. I'm just giving you a little bit of information, because when I tell you that it's okay to pick either one of these guys, you don't know me from Adam, really. 3 times I've been recognized by the United States Congress for my contribution to the fire service. Nothing major, but I appreciated that. You have the Order of the Palm in South Carolina. In North Carolina, it's called the Order of the Longleaf Pine. I received that in 2018 for the work that I've done. I'm a CFO. I'm an engineer, fire engineer. This is all I've ever done. Ever since I was 17, I didn't get my education. The city paid for my education. They paid for my associate's degree. I mean, it's all I've ever done. And I like to think I'm fairly good at it. But again, it's taken leadership and guidance. So today, as you're looking at these two folks, remember that you're going to be, they're going to be coming before you asking for things to better help the citizens, which you're going to work with, and also better help the fire department. And it's going to be your job to listen and to work and to figure out and to talk with the administrator and see what's the best for the folks. So just keep that in mind. These folks you are grooming, they may stay here for 25 years. We hope so. And be your fire chief. They may go to Columbia or Charlotte or New York City or somewhere. So you could have a part in grooming this individual for whatever they do. It has been a pleasure working for you. It has been a pleasure working for Ms. Fregoso and the staff, Ms. Ladd, the group. They have been, the people of Isle of Palms are very fortunate to have such a great leadership team. And it is a team. Any particular questions for me before this? I've taken a lot of your time.
That's all right. I think,
apologize.
Chief, you're going to be with us during executive session, so let's
Yes.
hold questions till we get there, unless somebody has one of a generic high level.
I kind of do.
Go ahead. Ken.
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Am I safe to assume that these two candidates met with our current firefighters team?
Yes, they had an option at 8:30 yesterday morning and at 8:30 this morning. So we tried to catch it at shift time, change time, so that everybody had an opportunity to meet with both candidates. And we met in the training room and we had a good turnout. Now, could I say that all 35 of us were there? No. But was there a majority there? Probably so. Yeah. And they asked very good questions. Miss Ladd was in the room and they did a good job. I was really proud of them.
So the interaction, the attitude,
Yes.
pretty positive.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
There, it is, I started to say we're human beings. And gosh, I hate to say this, I've said it out loud several times. Opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one. And some of them have different opinions than others on who they would like, but you'll see as you talk to these folks. So,
Got it. Thank you.
but yes, so they have had a chance to meet with not only the firefighters, but Chief Hathaway, the deputy chief, took them and I stayed away. Then we went to lunch. They also met with our training chief and Travis Stafford, our fire marshal.
Wonderful.
So, yes, sir, we made it all available.
Preston.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is more of a comment than it is a question.
Yes, sir.
We may have a chance before you get away from this island
Yes, sir.
to say it in a little more public setting too. But I personally want to thank you for stepping in as interim chief
Been my pleasure.
and doing what you did to hold the team together. I know it's a great department you said
It
you're
is.
stepping into, or
It is.
that you were interim chief of, but
Yes, sir.
I think also you did a really good job in the community,
Thank you.
making sure that the leadership was there, the continuity was there, and it looks like a fine team
Thank you.
effort overall. Thank you.
And I do appreciate that. I do, those kind of words are great. And I do appreciate it, but it's all for you folks. You guys lead the city and do a great job. Especially with-
Thank you, Chief. Desiree, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, so we, in accordance with South Carolina Code Section 30-4-70A1, to discuss employment matters relating to hiring of the fire chief. Upon returning to open session, council may take action on matters discussed in executive session. So is there a motion we go into executive session?
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Questions, comments? Nicole?
Councilmember Anderson,
Aye.
Councilmember Bogosian,
Aye.
Councilmember Han,
Aye.
Councilmember Myers.
Aye.
Councilmember Popson.
Aye.
Councilmember Streetman.
Aye.
Councilmember Ward,
Aye.
Mayor Pounds.
Aye.
All in favor?
Thank you. It's 4:45 and we'll go into executive session and come back out shortly. Thank you.
Turn off